Welcome to the Explainer. So today we're diving into what I think is the ultimate thought experiment. I really want you to stop and imagine, right this second, what you'd do if you were just handed $1 billion. Literally no strings attached, absolutely no rules. But here's the catch. You only have it for one single week. 7 days. That's it.
Just picture it. You wake up tomorrow morning, grab your phone, and open up your banking app. And boom, staring back at you is a 10-figure balance. $1 billion, entirely yours. You're finally ready to pull the trigger on those cars, the sprawling mansions, and the crazy luxury travel you've, quite literally, always dreamed of. It feels like the absolute perfect picture of ultimate freedom, right?
Well, okay, let's dive into this. Because over the course of this explainer, we're going to watch this perfect, flawless picture completely come apart, day by day. And what takes its place? It's going to reveal a truth you absolutely will not see coming.
Day 1. The vertigo of wealth. Trying to dent the undentable.
So you wake up feeling that dizzying rush, that pure vertigo. You head out and immediately buy a spectacularly expensive watch. And hey, why not follow it up with a $400,000 car in a single afternoon? But then you check your balance, and it barely even flinched. Because here is the brutal arithmetic that nobody really tells you about. $1 billion invested at a super cautious 5% return generates roughly $50 million a year. Let me put that into perspective for you. That means you are passively earning $137,000 every single day.
While you're sleeping, while you're eating, hell, while you're actually out buying things, you're earning money faster than you can physically spend it. So that whole fantasy you walked in with, the wild splurging, emptying out the account, it's mathematically impossible within a human lifetime. You've hit your very first wall, and ironically, it's just built out of basic math.
Moving on to day 2, the world bends. The texture of reality changes. Suddenly, your entire world becomes completely frictionless. Those impossible restaurant reservations, they miraculously open up for you. But you also start noticing everyone around you calculating your worth in real time. They're laughing at your jokes just a half second too fast. So the crucial point here is what happens next as we transition into day 3. You realize that what money secretly does is buy time. It removes the friction. You want to skip traffic? Easy. You charter a $10,000 an hour jet like you're ordering a pizza. But here's the catch. By removing all those annoying errands, the logistics, and the wait times, you completely strip away what's called your scaffolding. That's the daily obligations, the chores, the normal friction that actually gives your life its shape and holds it upright. And without that scaffolding holding you up, you're just left staring at a completely empty calendar. The hours come back to you, sure, but they're completely hollow. You start to realize that removing every single obstacle doesn't actually make you a happier person. It just leaves you floating untethered in a room with absolutely no walls. And honestly, this perfectly explains why the richest people in the world almost always keep working. They aren't chasing more money, they're chasing the friction. They need the friction to make the hours actually mean something. But hey, let's imagine an alternate version of you for a second. The one who decides to just relentlessly chase the fantasy anyway. You run a program of endless consumption. Day 2, you're lounging on a 60-meter super yacht. By day 3, you're popping bottles at some exclusive club in Monaco. And by day 4, you're crashing in a Vegas penthouse that you rented for just one single night. But notice what happens to this alternate version of you. By day 4, this version feels absolutely nothing. See, we all run on this very human programming that says more sensation equals more happiness. But as you can clearly see, that program hits a hard, early limit. The sensation is sky high, sure, but happiness completely stalls out, and it rapidly crashes into total numbness.
Which brings us to day 5, the isolation tax. The floor drops.
So, tired of all the wild sensation, you just crave something completely, wonderfully ordinary. You call your oldest, brokest friend Marcus, the guy who knew you way before any of this insanity. But right from the very first sentence, the call just feels off. He's being super careful with you. And there it is. He laughs with that exact same calculated half-second delay you've been hearing from total strangers all week. This is the real tragedy of immense wealth. It doesn't just change a room full of strangers, it reaches backward into the rooms you already trusted and ruins genuine connection. Like the quote says, it puts a question mark over every face. You're basically forced into an incredibly expensive, permanent solitude with a great view and a doorman, constantly wondering if anyone actually likes you for you or just for the number attached to your name.
Day 6, the quiet turn. What is this for? By now, the desperate spending stops. You've proven to yourself that it just doesn't work. But in the stillness that follows, a new, much better question arrives. You stop asking, what can I buy, and realize there are basically two roads in front of you. And this brilliantly illustrates those two paths. You can use all that money to buy your way out of life entirely, just escaping all struggle and friction until your days go totally soft and gray. Or you can use it to buy your way deeper in. You can use it to build something meaningful, to move something in the world that really needs moving, something that outlives that crazy daily interest.
Day 7. The clock runs out. The return to the ordinary.
So on this final day, you don't buy a single thing. You simply sit and watch the number until the week closes, and that massive, unbelievable balance vanishes. You return to your ordinary life, your ordinary bed, and surprisingly, you don't feel robbed at all. It hits you that the billion was just the experiment, and you were the variable. The $1 billion did almost nothing that the fantasy promised it would. It didn't buy you a single hour of genuine connection, it brought zero ongoing happiness past that very first afternoon, and it certainly didn't hand you some entirely new, perfect self.
What the money actually did, its real purpose, was just to strip away all of your excuses. Not building that thing you've been talking about, not making that tough call, not becoming the person you want to be. For 7 days, money was completely removed as an obstacle, and you realized something terrifying. The things you were avoiding were still right there waiting for you, completely unhindered by your bank balance.
The wall was never the money. The wall was the belief that the money was the wall. Just let that sink in for a second. Crossing the wall of wealth just leaves the exact same person standing on the far side. You.
Okay, let's wrap this up and see how this builds a completely new perspective for us. The life you are postponing, the one you're waiting to live until you have more money, is actually available to you right now, right here, in the body you woke up in this morning. Make the call today. Start building tonight. Begin becoming that person right now. Yes, absolutely, the path is going to be smaller, it's going to be slower, and for sure it will be filled with a lot more friction, but it is available to you today.
So I'm going to leave you with this final thought for our explainer today. What will you build today? The money is gone, the excuse is completely gone. Your unbuilt life is still here, and it's still waiting for you. And the door to it? Well, it turns out it was never actually locked.